This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, here we go. It's your boy Jay McLovin here with the afternoon show. Tony Gonzalez, Chris Gonzalez joining in. It's been a hell of a good week, hell of a good weekend. Lots of things happening, lots of things going around. Hope everybody had a good New Year's. Good to be back. What's going on, fellas? Tony?
Interesting weekend in the NFL. Also, a lot of things going on with Black Monday, coaches getting fired. But we hit all those subjects and tell people what's going on. And also maybe just a little bit of college football playoff. Hit that real quick too. Well, let's jump right into a couple games that happened this weekend. The first one I wanted to jump into was Seattle and San Francisco. Seattle dominating that game to a certain degree, 13-3. 180 yards passing for Seattle, 180 yards rushing, 361 total. San Francisco only 173 yards total. 120 passing, 53 rushing, and also a turnover. It was amazing San Francisco was even in this game. San Francisco's defense played really well too, but Seattle's defense was lights out for the most of that game. Chris, your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, neither offense looked real great in that game, but San Francisco couldn't get their offense going at all in the game. Yeah, it was pretty much a defensive battle, and Seattle's defense was able to control it.
Yeah, it looked like San Francisco was coming down to maybe make it a game, and then had that interception.
McCaffrey's hand.
Yeah, he was kind of behind him, and he got his hands on it, but went right into that other guy's hands. It was right into his stomach. I mean, it was right there for the other guy for Seattle. But big victory for Seattle, number 1 seed now. Jay, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a high big game. Obviously they're fighting for the number 1 seed. Slow, obviously, like Gonzo said, a little bit of offense, not a whole lot that came through it on too much of the teams. I will say Charbonnet and Walker really looked good. And that San Francisco defense kind of looks soft to me a little bit on the run game side of it, at least. It was interesting, with when I look at this game, Seattle was without 2 of their tackles. There are 2 of their starting tackles. I feel like once they get those starting tackles, which I think they're supposed to have them ready to go by playoffs, which I think is why they didn't play tonight. But I think when they get those tackles in, it's going to help secure up that offensive line a little bit better, because the one thing about Darnold is he has to have time. He's not a good guy under pressure, but if you give him time, he can facilitate. And I think that's the one thing that Seattle is still lacking, is that offensive line to protect Darnold. And I think once they get these tackles back, I think they get a better shot at it. But, what an opportunity for San Francisco to try to get it, and it just didn't happen for them. I think they got 3 points. But, man, what a hell of a good defensive side on both sides of the ball. McCaffrey, I thought, did a good job. I think that was pretty much their primary offense. Kendrick Bourne needed, I think, 9 or 26 yards, either 9 yards or 26 yards. I cannot remember the number, but it was a very small amount. It was less than 30 yards, Tony, for this hit his escalator receiving. And, they threw the ball to him one time. One time. And I don't know how you guys feel, but if I get $500,000 on the line, hey, can you not give me at least 2 or 3 chances on the rock?
Yeah, Purdy didn't have a great night, but a lot of that was to do with Seattle.
No.
Also, like you mentioned about Seattle's offensive line, San Francisco was missing their best offensive lineman, missing another receiver. I think Pearsall, he didn't play, so they had guys missing 2, and they just never got in sync offensively at all. Their defense bent a little bit, but it didn't break. Defense played well enough for San Francisco to win, but San Francisco's offense couldn't do a lot. I mean, just 53 yards passing. I mean, San Francisco's got to be more productive with McCaffrey to really to have a chance, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the playoffs. They're the number 6 seed now. Let's go on to last night's game. There for a little while, there towards the end, I didn't think either team wanted to win this game. They was trying to give it away, both teams. Pittsburgh winning 26-24. Pittsburgh 390 yards total offense, 290 passing, 100 rushing. Did have the ball for 34 minutes. Baltimore 361 yards total offense, 224 passing, 137 yards rushing. I thought that was pretty good. I thought they could have given the ball a little bit more to the main back towards the end of the game. They kind of let up on that, but it is what it is. Pittsburgh left the door open, missed an extra point. Baltimore makes a big pass down the field in field goal range. The young rookie field goal kicker for Baltimore hooked it bad, and they lost the game, guys. Baltimore is upset, and Pittsburgh was about to be upset. They thought this game was over, and but they still got the win, 26-24. Jay, your thoughts on this game?
Man, I got a lot of thoughts. One of them starts with that press conference that Lamar Jackson had. They were asking about the future. He's like, man, I don't know about the future. We just lost. What are you talking to me about the future for? I didn't get to watch this game, unfortunately. I wasn't feeling good and I fell asleep, so I didn't get to watch it too much. But it was a 2-point deficit. That's I don't know, man. I really thought Pittsburgh would take that game from them. But again, DK Metcalf wasn't there, and I think that was a big miss on their part. Not having him there.
Yeah, I agree. They did miss him, no doubt about it. But they did get the ball to the running backs. The running backs ran the ball and caught a lot of passes. I thought that was a big key for them. Mike. Chris, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I thought you was done. If you still got
I was going to, but then I looked at it. It's Chris's turn.
Okay.
Well, first of all, what's up, Hypocrisy Jones and House and Frankie?
Yeah, hey guys.
Like Hughes, everybody in there. No, this is a game. If you, I watched most of this game. It's a game. If you were watching the game, you would have thought Pittsburgh would have been dominating the scoreboard. Right. I thought Pittsburgh really messed up in the first half, not taking the field goal at the end of the first half. You had a chance to put 3 points on, give you a 6-point lead instead of a 3-point lead. You go for it on that fourth down with the stupid play call out of the Wildcat. You don't get it, and that could have came back and cost them the game, because that was 3 points they would have had, and then you miss the extra point when you get that last touchdown, and it's only a 2-point game. You had those 3 points, it's still a 5-point game. They need a touchdown instead of just a field goal. But really, Baltimore couldn't do nothing offensively. They hit those like 3 big plays there in the fourth quarter that got those points, and 2 long touchdown passes, and then that long pass to well, somebody has their TV on.
Not me.
It was me.
But then they hit that long one to Likely. But yeah, Pittsburgh's offense played pretty good, actually really good, if you consider not having Metcalf. Really didn't have their no options on receiving like they usually do. But their defense just giving up the big play. Defense played good most of the game, other than those big plays, and almost cost them the game. But that field goal kicker missed it there at the end. I thought for sure the game was over when they hit that pass to Likely. I didn't think he missed that field goal. I figured Pittsburgh missing the extra point. As soon as he missed the extra points, they're going to lose this game now, because I figured the game was going to go in overtime. Instead, I was like, oh, they're going to lose this game. Their defense ain't been able to stop the big play in the fourth quarter. But Pittsburgh done enough to win the game.
Yeah. Hey, real question. I'm sorry. I just want to say one thing. Did you guys? I did catch. There was one play that I remember catching before I knocked out. Was the Gainwell play when he got that kick return and he returned it. I think he got like 32 yards. I think he got up to like the 40 or 45 yard line, and then it was a holding penalty, and they brought it back. He did eventually get back to the 40, but I thought that was a huge hold on them.
Yep. Yeah. Pittsburgh struggled a little bit in the first quarter. Baltimore ran the ball really well in the first quarter, maybe in some of the second quarter, and because Baltimore was up, I believe 10-0 at one point, and then Pittsburgh did get, I think, 10-3 at half. Got the ball back out and come out and scored real quick in the second half, and then Pittsburgh started dominating Baltimore, and then towards maybe the middle part of the fourth quarter, Baltimore got going again. So it was a good game. I don't think either one of these teams would have went anywhere. I don't think Pittsburgh's going anywhere, but we'll see. Guys, let's move on and let's look at who's in the playoffs real quick. AFC, number 1 seed Denver, number 2 seed New England, number 3 Jacksonville, 4 Pittsburgh, 5 Houston, 6 seeds Buffalo, 7 is Chargers. Number 1 seed in the NFC, Seattle, number 2 Chicago, number 3 Philadelphia, number 4 Carolina, number 5 the Rams, number 6 San Francisco, and number 7 Green Bay. But I did want to get you guys' thoughts real quick on the NFC and Chicago and Philadelphia. Green Bay beat Chicago. If Philadelphia would have won that game, they would have been the number 2 seed. A lot of people in Philadelphia are upset with Philadelphia's whoever made the decision, the coaches, general manager, whoever was all making the decisions. That Philadelphia didn't play their players and lost that game because I kind of agree. I think I'd rather play Green Bay than I would San Francisco. And so now they got to play San Francisco. So, Jay, your thoughts on Philadelphia's decision? They lost that game.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia realized that game really didn't mean anything to them. They already secured up their spot. I think they said, I think I remember hearing somewhere, or at least reading somewhere, they were going to pull their players at a certain point. That those players were going to play the whole game regardless. I think it's a smart move for Philly, to be honest with you. I know it's not what everybody likes to hear, everybody likes to say, or whatever the case may be. I know if you're in fantasy world, nobody likes to see it. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at it from a strategic standpoint, they're trying to keep their dudes healthy. They really have this game is not anything for them. It's not going to improve their chances. I mean, they're already in the playoffs, so they might as well just conserve what they have. Don't take any injuries, and then go into this playoffs. With what you have. So I'm not mad at them at all for doing it. I mean, it's just a part of the business, a part of strategy.
I know a lot of Philly fans were upset. Chris, your thoughts on that?
No, they already had their mind made up before that game what they were going to do, so I don't have a problem with them. And most of these fans that have a problem with it, if the Bears game would have went different, they wouldn't even be bitching. They wouldn't even be bitching about it. The only reason they're bitching about it is because the Bears end up losing that game and they could have got it. But if the Bears would have won would have beat the Lions, nobody would be saying, "Oh, he should have played his players." Nobody be even. I don't think anybody be really even talking about it. But it was because of the way the game was ending. Because he knew why the game was going on. That hey, they lost. So if we win this game. But what are you supposed to do then? Put your players in after they ain't played the whole game? I don't understand what fans want you to do. To me, that's more dangerous if you tell guys they're not going to play and they're not mentally ready to play, and then you was just to try to throw them in the middle of a game. So I think once you made that decision, you had to stay with it. So, I don't have a big problem with it. I mean, because most of the fans that are complaining, if he would have played the guys and say Saquon pops his hamstring. Then they're going to want Sirianni's head. He's the biggest dipshit ever and all this. And now he's the biggest dipshit because he didn't try to get the number 2 seed. So either way, Sirianni was kind of screwed in the public opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. Guys, let's move on and tell everybody when the games are, who's playing who, and maybe give a quick pick. I mean, I know we've got some time, but we I meant to tell everybody this. Let me go into that. I forgot to do that. Sorry. We're making some changes real quick to the programming here on the networks. Mondays and Fridays will now be just afternoon shows at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. On Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, we have Tuesday Night Hoops. That show's been going on for 3 or 4 weeks now. That will continue. We have a new show now on Wednesday. It's a Hot Seat with OG Tony, and the crew will be here too on Wednesday nights at 10 Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And then the Thursday Night Blitz is a show that's been going on for a few weeks. Missed a couple weeks because of the holidays, but it will be back Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. And like I said, on Mondays and Fridays, normal time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central will be the afternoon show. So I did want to make everybody aware of that. I meant to do that to start the program, but I'm old and I forgot. So, guys, let's take a look at the NFL playoffs. We'll maybe give a quick look at it and our picks. First game up Saturday, 4:30 p.m. The Rams, number 5 seed, at number 4 seed, Carolina. Jay, what are you thinking about this game?
Go to Jay first. I'm having an issue.
Okay, I said Jay.
Yeah, this should be an interesting game. Yeah, this should be an interesting game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know these two teams played earlier in the year. I cannot remember who won. I was thinking it was Carolina that beat the Rams. Am I right on that?
I think they did.
Gonzo, look that up for me if you don't mind. If you don't mind looking that up and just put it. Yeah, Rams.
I ain't looking shit up. I don't need to look it up. They played 3 weeks ago, and the Rams and the Panthers beat the Rams. I watched all the games. I don't need to look it up.
That's why he's on the show, folks. Because nobody can get one past. No one can get past Chris.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Beat the Rams last time they played. It was like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's my point. I feel like I think they said earlier. It's hard to beat a team twice. And it's going to be hard, but I think the Rams are going to win this game. It's going to be defense. Both teams have a good defense. Rams have a good defense. Carolina's got a pretty good D. It's going to come down to the run games for Carolina. I feel like Carolina's got to get Dowdle going. They got to get what's his name, Chuba Hubbard going, and got to make sure they got the right cleats on. I don't know how many times I watched Dowdle slip and fall trying to get those 10 yards to get his bonus. By the way, he didn't get his bonus either. And I know he's pissed off at the cleats.
Like a bitch during that game, oh.
Yeah, it was. It was. Dude, I mean, seriously, I mean, like, it's hard to see the rain sometimes in the camp, but you could clearly see that it was coming down pretty well. But I'm gonna go with Carolina. I'm gonna go with the Rams on this. I know Gonzo's been with the Rams all season. I'm gonna go with the Rams as well on this. I just think the offense is better. The defense is better. Although I got to tell you, Carolina, mad shout out, man. You definitely are starting to get better as a team, no doubt about it. But it's just not your time right now. I think this is just going to go to McVay and Puka, and all those guys over there. I just think they got the better team, Tony. And it's a home field advantage for them as well.
Yeah, and they'll have Devontae Adams back too. That's a big plus for the Rams. I'm going with the Rams. I think they're just a better team. Carolina's got a chance. I'm not ruling them out. They beat them once this year. They, like you said, they got to run the football. If they don't run the ball for over 100 yards or more, they're not going to be in this game. They didn't rush very good, but like Chris said, the weather was terrible this past game against Tampa Bay. But I think they only had like 30 yards rushing or something like that. It was terrible. But again, it was a very bad conditions. But I'm going with the Rams also. Chris?
Yeah, I like the Rams here. Rams here too. For one, Rams have been one of the better teams all year, but then also they gotten Devontae Adams back. That's big for them, especially in the red zone. And I think the Rams will come ready to play first round. I know it's in Carolina, but and after watching what Carolina did the other day with a chance to make sure you're in the playoffs, not having to rely on anybody, not being able to pull that game out, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Next game up, guys, is 8 p.m. on Saturday. 7 seed Packers at the number 2 seed Chicago. This should be a good game, guys. Just because it's at Chicago, I'm going to go with Chicago by a field goal. I think it's going to come down to the last second. I wouldn't be shocked if Green Bay wins. I think Green Bay is going to be fairly healthy. I mean, they're missing some defensive players, one in particular. But I'm going to go with Chicago. Chris?
Right now, I'm leaning toward the Packers in this game.
Think they're going to be healthy enough?
Yeah, I think Jordan Love is going to be healthy. I think they're coming back, and to me, if the Packers don't turn the ball over, they win the game. The Bears rely too much on having to get the turnovers for their defense to be able to get stops, and I think that's going to come back to get them in the playoffs.
Okay, and Jay.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago on this one. That last game that Chicago played, Colston Loveland just had a monsterly great game for Chicago and Caleb. Now that game towards the end got real sloppy a little bit. And the only thing about Caleb, the only knock I have on Caleb is he still needs to learn how to read those defenses, learn how to read those coverages a little bit better. But I think if you look at where he was at the start of the season to where he is now, he has drastically improved his game over the course of this season. So he has definitely gotten better. I just think for him to get to that next level evolution, he's got to do a little bit more all season training on just the mental prep side of it. But I think he's got a good enough team. I think they have a good enough defense between Swift and I think it was who's the other one, the other running back they have over there besides Swift? It's not Montgomery, or is it Montgomery?
No, it's not Montgomery, but I can't pronounce it.
Monangai or Monangai, however you say that guy's name. Monangai, yeah, he's on my fantasy team. What did I know? But the Monangai is a very good running back. If you look at him during the season, I know I'm saying his name wrong, but he's got a very hard name to say, so I'm doing my best. But
you're close. You're close.
But when you look between him and Swift, they have a really good run game over there. And Adunzi and Loveland, that offensive line has definitely shown up. And that defense is definitely good. So I'm gonna roll with Chicago on this, just because there is no Micah Parsons, Christian Watson. I don't know. I mean, I know he's playing, but I don't know how well he's filled up. I know Jordan Love is coming back. I'm assuming he's good to go. Even though I include concussion protocol, I just wonder how sometimes that mind still can trick you a little bit. But I think I'm gonna roll with Chicago on this. Ben Johnson.
Okay, Frankie, you got a take on these two games? First one was Rams and Carolina. Second one, Packers and Chicago.
Right now, I'm leaning towards the Rams over Carolina, just because DK Metcalf will be back. Or no, that's the wrong team. Sorry, Devontae Adams will be back. I believe he'll be healthy for them. For this game, I'm like Chris. I'm leaning more towards the Packers. I feel like the Packers know how to beat Chicago well in Chicago. Plus Jordan Love missing a couple games due to concussions and stuff. I think he's going to, come out with a bang and try and get the win for his team. But that defense, scares me a little bit. So throughout the week when we get more news out on players' injuries or anything else like that, I'll probably change my pick to Chicago. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards the Packers, and I'm believing in Jordan Love in that offense.
Okay. Let's go to the next game up 1 p.m. Sunday. 6 seed Buffalo at number 3 seed Jacksonville. Chris, your thoughts on this game?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Tough one for me because Buffalo's defense has been playing better the last, especially the last 3-4 weeks. And then they got Josh Allen, but the Jags have looked real good, especially the last 7-8 weeks. And Trevor Lawrence has started playing like the quarterback everybody was expecting when he first came out. It just took him about 8 years. I still think I'm going to go right now. I'm leaning toward Buffalo because of Josh Allen. I just expect him to make a big play in the fourth quarter to be the difference. But so right now I'm leaning toward the Bills. But I think this is going to be a very good game, and because Jacksonville's a real good team as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Frankie, what do you think about that game, Buffalo and Jacksonville?
Well, it's not going to be hard for me like it is hard for Chris. You can give me Jacksonville all day. Give me Jacksonville all day. Listen, Josh Allen is 0-4 on the road in postseason. All right, and I get it. It's because he goes against Patrick Mahomes and sometimes Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. But listen, you don't have any of them in there. None of them are in there right now. So there should be no excuses for Josh Allen not to make it to the Super Bowl. But then again, Tony, there is. And if you do beat a Trevor Lawrence and you do beat a person next and after that, you're going to have to go back to Foxborough and play Drake May and my Patriots.
Okay. Man, I don't know.
I think I'm in the middle of a snowstorm right now.
I was gonna say your internet cut out.
Yeah, I look outside and like the snow is like literally coming down crazy. I'm like, what the hell? Am I in Alaska right now? But yeah, I think Jacksonville is gonna get the win just because they're hot. They're on fire right now. Trevor Lawrence is playing great. Jacoby Myers turned that offense around when he got traded over to Jacksonville. The defense is on fire, and I don't believe in Buffalo's defense. I've been saying it all year. That defense in Buffalo is straight garbage. I don't care what Josh Allen does on the offensive part. Yeah, he can keep you in the game, but that defense is going to win you games, and defense wins you championships. And I think that Jacksonville is going to beat the Buffalo Bills in the first round. They're going to be one and done. And I'm sorry that you Colts fans have to hear it because that's your rival. But hey. You're going up against your rival's going up against my rival, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So let's go, Jacksonville.
Oh man, it is a tough pick for me, but I think I'm going Frankie. I think I'm going Jacksonville, and their defenses of late has sold me. I think the key for Buffalo is they got to get the running game going. But the other issue is, can they stop the run? So I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Jay?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Jacksonville as well. Liam Cohen, since he's come there, Trevor Lawrence has gotten better because, number one, he has consistency. Number two, he has good qualified people teaching him and developing him. Liam Cohen is a stabilizing force in that team. I thought he was kind of goofy, but the guy just is on the offensive side of the ball. The guy is just amazing the way he's developing this team and the way he's doing it. I mean, we haven't seen this from Jacksonville in I don't know how long. Receivers are getting wide open in some cases. The way he puts his, I know what's his name. I can't remember. There was one receiver that was struggling, and he wound up putting him to the other side of the ball to help him get off struggling. So the way he positions his players and puts them in positions to win is amazing. I think it was Brian Thomas Jr., I believe, is the one that I was talking about. Defensively, the only thing that kind of concerns me about Jacksonville is that they're they're 27th in the league with 32 sacks. That pass rush has got to get better, especially with a guy like Josh Allen. You cannot give Josh Allen time. You give him time, you're screwed. So they're going to have to get the pressure on Josh. They're going to have to get to Josh. And like you said, Tony, can they stop the run? But again, at the same time, when I look at when I look at Buffalo, the one things that there's questionable with them is their defense. They have a hard time stopping the run themselves. I will tell you, though, the one thing that kind of concerns me with Jacksonville's pass rush is I know that Walker's dealing with an injury, and also I think Armstead is dealing with a knee injury, I believe is who I was talking. No, Walker's dealing with. I apologize. Walker's dealing with the knee injury, and I believe Armstead has one of them has a cast on the hand. So they got a couple of injuries. What I'm getting at on that defensive side of the ball, but I'm still going to roll with Jacksonville.
Okay. Next game Sunday at 4:30 p.m. We got 6 seed San Francisco at number 3 seed Philadelphia. Jay, what are you thinking about this one?
Oh, man, who's Philadelphia got again?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, man. Now this is where it gets a little tough for me. I know Chris. This is where it gets tough for me because I feel like Philadelphia has been struggling with consistency on their offensive side of the ball. Like that's been an issue for them. Defensively, they've been fine. San Francisco just got that close, narrow win over Chicago. We know how good Chicago's defense is. I'm gonna roll with San Francisco on this. I just don't believe. I know they're the defending champs, but I don't. That offense just kind of doesn't. I don't sit right with that. And Jake Elliott, as long as he doesn't have another Jake Elliott game like he did a while back, But ultimately, I think I'm going to go with San Francisco on this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Also, I think the key for San Francisco, they got to get McCaffrey going. If they can get McCaffrey going, I think they need an offensive lineman back. I forget his name, but they really need him back. If they don't get him back. If Williams plays, I think they're in a good chance.
They are pretty sure that he'll be there for the playoffs. That's why he didn't play last week. They chose to send him out last week to make sure they'd have him for the playoffs instead of trying to play him last week and then taking a chance that they wouldn't have him for the playoffs.
I think Philly's got a better defense. I think San Francisco's got a better offense. Even though they got shut down this last game, I'm going to go with San Francisco by a field goal. Chris?
Oh yeah, that's a tough one for me. But right now, this early in the week, I'm actually leaning toward the Eagles, and the big reason is because the game's in Philadelphia. I think being there, and we have seen that defense has been real good, and we've seen that defense even play better in the playoffs. I mean, if you watched them last year, that defense was good in the regular season, but in the playoffs they even got better. So I'm thinking they might do that again this year. Offense, I still think, yeah, sometimes they struggle, but they've been able to score enough points to win games. Right now, I'm leaning toward the Eagles because it's in Philadelphia, and I just think when you don't have Fred Warner and Bosa, two of the best defensive players, not only on your team but in the league, at some point that's just becomes hard to overcome.
Hey, Christian, can you, is Kittle's also dealing with an injury, right? I think it's an ankle sprain or something of that nature, if I'm not mistaken.
But he's back. He came back. He played last game.
Yeah, I know he played last game, but I guess he missed
the week. But he took the week before off, but then he came back.
Okay.
So
Parasol. What about Parasol? I think Tony, didn't you say
sure.
there was an issue with Parasol? I thought.
Yeah, he didn't play the last game.
He didn't play last week. But the way they talk, he'll be playing this week too. He was one of them that was right on the. He could have played. Like if it would have been a playoff game, he probably would have played last week. But since it wasn't a playoff game, they held him out of the game. Make sure he was ready for the playoff.
Yeah.
Game.
Real quick before you move on to the next game or next person, was it just me? I thought those 49er uniforms were ugly as hell. I didn't like those uniforms.
See, I liked
I don't
them.
know. Did you?
I'll be
I
honest
didn't like
with
the
you.
gold face mask. I think that's what threw it off for me.
I didn't pay much attention to him, to be honest with you. To be honest,
I'm sorry.
Well, as soon as
Okay,
the game started, that was a topic of discussion during the poker game was whether we liked the uniforms or not.
That's how it was at my house. She was like, man, because it's a gold face mask.
Well, it was actually
I like
Austin that started the discussion because he said, "I'm not sure if I can't decide if I like them jerseys or these jerseys or not." And then we all started talking about it. I liked it. I just thought on the helmet that they should have had some of the gold around the logo on the helmet, but instead of doing that, they had the gold on the face mask, which was fine. But I think if they would have had that, the outline of gold on there would have popped a little more, kind of like on the jerseys.
Yeah.
But no, I like them.
Okay, since I also brought up, I could not tell what is written right here on their jersey, because I couldn't tell if it was saying 49ers. I couldn't tell if they had some kind of message there. It would look kind of weird.
I'd have to look it up.
I was just curious. That's just fine. Tony, I apologize.
Oh, you're fine. Let's move on to the 8:15 p.m. game on Sunday. We got the 7th seed Los Angeles Chargers against the number 2 seed New England Patriots. Jay, let's go to you first. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, we all know how soft the Patriots are. They're about as soft as Frankie's midsection. I'm just kidding, Frankie. You probably have a very nice midsection. No, but again, I'm gonna roll with Patriots on this one. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I'm gonna have a little faith in this team. I like what they're doing over there in New England. I just need to see them more battle tested, but I like what they're doing. And again, it's a Charger, so I don't even know how good Justin Herbert's hand is. I'm assuming it's okay because I haven't heard anything negatively come out about it. So I'm assuming he's doing okay with that hand injury, even though it's fractured. But I think the Chargers are a little soft on defense, but they have a good offense. I'm going to go with Patriots on this. I think that they have a really good young program over there. I think they get past round 1. I think round 2 is where I think it's going to be more, where they get more tested. But I'm going to go with the Patriots, and I'm going to go with that Drake May. Let's see if Drake May can keep working that magic.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with the Patriots at New England. If it was at the Chargers, I might consider the Chargers, but since it's in New England, I think New England beats them by. I'm going to say by 10. Chris.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real good game. But right now I'm leaning toward New England. New England's been the hotter team coming into it. But a lot of it's going to be the Chargers' offensive line. I don't think I think their one main guy is still out. But not really worried about Herbert's hand much because he since he's been back and played, he's played pretty good even with like it ain't been like the hand's been costing him. But I think it's going to be a good game, a real good game. But yeah, I lean toward the Patriots.
And Frankie.
I like how, first of all, sorry I don't have no picture up. I had to go get my daughter's tablet. I said, the hell, my phone is freaking acting stupid. I like how Jay talks shit about our schedule, but then leans on picking my team anyway. That's how you know Cowboy fans. That's how you know Cowboy fans are trying to troll, but in a good way. I saw what happened with you and Philly Sports Guy, and you're not going to get it out of me, sir. As you can see, I'm happy today. I got a brand new Drake May jersey ready for the playoffs. I got a brand new title getting shipped to my house soon, not to Glenn. Finally, let's go. So you're not going to get to me, Jay. Obviously, I'm going with my boys. We're getting healthy. You see Will Campbell came back. You've seen Milton Williams come back. And for the playoffs, we're going to get Robert Spillane back. We're going to get Harold Landry back. Our defense is going to be fully legit. Our defense is kind of scary, and everybody's overlooking it because of the schedule we've been playing. But our defense is scary. You've seen what we did to the Buffalo Bills offense when we were fully healthy on defense. James Cook couldn't even cook us. So I already know what we're going to do in the playoffs to the Chargers, especially with the broken hand Justin Herbert, who doesn't have a good offensive line. That's just scary for Justin Herbert. He should be eyes open right now, praying to the football gods that his offensive line steps up. But I'm going to tell you right now, Justin Herbert, no matter who you pray to, it can be the football gods, it could be the Hindu gods, it could be the Japanese gods. I don't care. This defense is coming, and we're coming hard to sack your ass, and we're going to get the ball. We're going to run it back. Drake May is going to play absolutely phenomenal like he's been doing all season long, and I can't wait for the world to see how well this team has been looking all season long, not just because of all who we played. No, it's because of how well we have been playing. I don't know. Take that shit off. Nobody cares about what Joe said. He's just like you, all right? He's just like you, Jay. At least Jay goes on the right path and picks the Patriots. Thank you. But Joe is just I'm going to be, if my team's not in that, no one else's team is going to be in it, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, Joe. But we're going to get this win, Tony. We're going to get this win. And I heard what you said, Tony. Even if it wasn't in L.A., we would win either way. You want to know why? Because we are the only team this year to go 8-0 on the road, and we're called the Road Warriors for a reason. So they're lucky we're not going to Los Angeles and owning their own stadium, all right? But it's okay. We haven't had a game in Foxborough since Tom Brady, and I'm glad that we finally got a playoff game in Foxborough. I can't wait to see this game on Sunday night. No better time than prime time for my boy Drake May, who went a perfect 4-0 this year on prime time game slots. Let me say that again. 4-0, Jay. See Dak Prescott going undefeated on prime times. But other than that, I'm going with my boys. Let's go, Pats.
Hey, real quick, what is this?
No, you shut your mouth. We're going to the next one.
No, I just want to ask you, Stephon Diggs, is everything good with him? Somebody was saying there was an issue with Stephon.
So the NFL is not punishing Stephon Diggs or Christian Barmore for their for their legal issues or illegal issues. We can't say yet, and they're going through shit. But they can play. they can play right now. Right. Stephon Diggs' court date, I believe, is in mid-January. And Christian Barmore's court date isn't until like February 2nd or something like that. So until those days come, these guys are good to go. They're good to play. And Stephon Diggs, baby, first wide receiver since Julian Edelman to reach 1,000 yards. He's got an extra $500K in his pocket. And pay the bitch so she can shut up and let's get some football.
Hey, sometimes this is just my opinion. Sometimes you just got to choke a bitch. I mean,
I don't know. This is hold on. We got to put this. Hold on. Listen. Hold on. Listen. Hey, time out. Listen.
It is true. Everybody could use a good choking every now and then.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. I don't know who these three people are, but I just want to let you know that we here at ESPN are a nonviolent organization, and we are love and peace and happiness. I don't know what's going on up here, but we are love, peace, and happiness. I don't know what's going on with these three individuals choking people. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I think that's a northern thing. Hey, down here in the South. Well, maybe it is. I don't know about it.
I think South where it was invented. Okay, guys, let's move on to the 8:15 p.m. game on Monday night. The 5 seed Houston at the 4 seed Pittsburgh. Chris, what are you thinking about this game? Your boy Rogers, man.
Yeah. Right now, I'm leaning toward the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. One, Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, but and another reason, Pittsburgh hasn't lost in like 23 games on a Monday night. They're great on Monday nights at home. This game is in Pittsburgh. It's going to be cold. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, and I think the Steelers with Metcalf will be able to score enough points because the Houston team can struggle to score points as well. Right now I'm leaning toward the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
Oh my God.
That's a tough one for me. I like Houston's defense. Pittsburgh can be up and down. I think I'm going to go with Houston, but I agree with Chris. It will be a close game. I think Houston by a field goal, as long as the kicker can make the kick and don't give it to Pittsburgh. Jay, your thoughts on your Houston Texans?
I didn't hear the last part, so it's okay. Okay. No, and no need to repeat. No need to repeat. I didn't hear it, and it's good.
Okay.
So yeah, Pittsburgh, man, again, coming off that close game with Baltimore. Woody Marks is going to have to do the job on that run game. He's going to have to pick up where Mixon left off. He really has to keep that game going. Offensively, Nico Collins, I think, is going to do Nico-like things. I think he's going to be good. Dalton Schultz. The defense went up against, which I don't know, man. Is Mike Tomlin? I mean, well, we'll talk the conversation, but I'm wondering if he doesn't get past Houston, what does that mean for him? Even though I know he's got like 22 winning seasons at this point, but I'm curious to see if he doesn't get past Houston, what does that mean for his future? I don't know how you do that. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I appreciate that. But no, seriously, I wonder if Pittsburgh does not get past Houston, I wonder what that's going to mean in terms of his coaching legacy there in Pittsburgh. If they're going to cut ties or if they're going to stay with him, I imagine they'll probably stay with him. But anyway, yeah, and Metcalf will be back on this one, so that's going to be huge for them. And T.J. Watt is there, and T.J. Watt played against Baltimore, did a great job. Matter of fact, I think he had an interception against Baltimore, so he's definitely back into form. So that's something that they're going to have to contend with. But I just think that defensively, we're too strong. They're going to have to rely heavily on Jaylen Warren. No, I'm going to go with Houston on this. I think they're going to get the job done, and they're going to do okay.
Duh.
Okay.
You did hear the we in there, didn't you?
No, I didn't hear the we.
Yeah,
I heard the we.
Look, I thought we's in there. If my whole life was based on we's and my pronunciation of things, I'd be screwed. Probably have a divorce by now. So let's be calm.
Hey, my goal in 2026 is to finally get you to admit that you're actually a Houston Texans fan and not a Cowboys fan. So it's early, so I got a whole year to get you to finally admit to it.
I tell you what, I'll take that bet if you'll put on about 30 pounds.
Shit.
No, seriously, because we're gonna have a slap off. Because when I see you, we're gonna do a slap off.
What the hell is this?
No, he knows. He knows damn good well when he got in the ring and they took them slaps. Listen, Kimbo Slice right here, baby.
Chop, not a slap.
Chop,
slaps. I don't care. Bite.
I care. There's a difference between a chop and a slap.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. If you prefer the word chop, okay. Hey, look here, Balake. Name's Blake. Whatever. Do what you feel like you've got to do, okay? But I'm going to come over there and I'm going to chop the crap out of you. And you're going to need that padding. So I need to put on 30 pounds of padding when I see you. It's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. I don't care if it's in Tony's backyard. I don't care if it's in Tony's backyard and we film it in Tony's backyard. Somebody getting chopped.
Well, he lives in Indy. I don't think they have backyards.
You ain't gonna be able to chop half as hard as the 3 chops I took, so I don't need to put on no weight. I'll be fine.
Oh.
I guarantee you.
You're doubting me based on my size. You don't know the 1-inch punch. That's okay. I'll introduce you.
This is getting really weird.
Yeah. Let's go on.
First it started with slap, ends with 1-inch punch.
What's it?
I'm confused as to why Jay was quoting chops. Like, look on Google and it'll tell you it's a freaking Ric Flair chop. Like,
hey, I will say this though. Hey, look, one caveat. I got to put this out there because you had mentioned it. I'm gonna tell you right now. When I ship you that belt, there will be absolutely zero Shawn Michaels like things done with
Oh,
that. Belt.
yeah.
You leave it alone. No, you leave
Oh
that crap
yeah,
alone.
let the world know, baby. That's right. That ESPN championship belt is coming to me, and it's gonna be wrapped around my leg, covering my junk, and I'm gonna be sending a photo
Hey,
and a Patriot hat. It's gonna be beautiful.
I'll be careful what you do with that belt because you got to remember who had that belt the last 2 years.
Well, we all know we all know that freaking Glenn don't do much. I mean,
Oh no,
Glenn, I
You'd
know
be
you're
surprised.
watching, and we love you, Glenn. You're part of ESPN, so you're part of the family. So I can say this. But what girl want to sleep with Glenn? Look at that head. Look at that hair.
Hey, you'd be surprised, buddy. I'm not okay. I'm not going to go there. Let's move on. Frankie,
Thank you.
who you taking? Houston or Pittsburgh?
Oh, I'm going Houston all day. That defense is just dominant. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
get to Aaron Rodgers too quick. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be uncomfortable, kind of like how he was with when he was going up against the Cleveland Browns 2 weeks ago. I get he's gonna have DK Metcalf back, but he really he only uses DK Metcalf much like when I feel like he has a short amount of yards to gain a first down or anything like that. It's kind of like a comparison to Stafford with Devontae Adams, right? He uses him for like red zone purposes or get like a 30-yard touchdown or something like that. I feel like that's what Aaron Rodgers does with DK Metcalf. But this Houston's defense is just too tough. Now the real question is, can Houston's offense keep up with the Steelers' defense? Because the Steelers do have a good defense. I'm not gonna knock that out. TJ Watt and what's his name on Cam Hayward, and obviously they got Jalen Ramsey, but I do not trust in Jalen Ramsey at all. He has not been the same for years now, which is why teams have been trading him left and right. So I have no trust in him. So if I'm CJ Stroud, that's who I'm attacking in this game is Jalen Ramsey, because if you can't catch the ball, there's a 92% chance that Jalen Ramsey is going to get a defensive pass interference. 92% chance most of the times. So I would attack Jalen Ramsey this game. But to me, I feel like Houston is more of a leaning towards a defense wins championship mode. And I'm always quoting that for a reason, so everybody understands that yes, the offense wins, they get the points and stuff, but the defense is out there winning you the championships because they're actually stopping the opposite team from scoring and helping you guys win it. So I mean, that's where Houston is leaning on. Is defense wins you championships, and it's absolutely right on that defense. They are playing like they want to win a championship. So I feel like the team that's going to have the stronger defense is going to win this game, which to me is going to be Houston. I think Houston wins by 3 points. I don't think it's a blowout, but I do think Houston wins because they're going to rush Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is just like any other old quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, all of those guys. He's a pocket quarterbacker, and when you rush him, he gets uncomfortable and he doesn't play well. We've seen it against Cleveland. So I feel like that's what's going to happen, and he's going to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, guys, let's move on to a little Black Monday talk. Got some coaches out the door, GMs out the door. Let's first of all, I'll just list it, and if you guys want to talk about a coach or anything that surprised you, we'll just go down the list. First of all, Raiders, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's gone. Jay, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think with Pete Carroll, I think we saw the writing on the wall with that. I mean, that's been in the topic of conversation for a good while now. It doesn't surprise me that they moved on from Pete. I just don't think Pete was able to get the job done there with the Raiders. It doesn't hurt the fact that they lost Brock Bowers and things like that. There's a lot of things going on with Raiderville. I don't know. I just don't think he commanded that team well enough. And again, he brought in Geno. Geno did, I thought Geno did okay till he got hurt and they brought in Pickett. It's weird though, because typically, it's 3 years to turn a franchise around. They cut this guy after 1 year, and again, I think whenever you're not able to produce or you're not able to get anything going, kind of like with Gerard Mayo with the Patriots when he was a one and done, it just seems to me like a lot of these teams, or at least ownerships, their fuses are getting short with how long you can stay there, and it just seems like coaches get fired a little bit quicker than they used to. And I think Pete is just a victim of circumstance. He tried to turn a franchise around. I don't know that he had the ability to do it in 1 year, and he's just a casualty of that.
Yeah, I was a little. I mean, I wasn't surprised because it's been talked a big part of the year about it. he was set up for failure, in my opinion. I mean, I know they
Yeah.
run in Geno. Geno didn't play well. They didn't have any receivers to speak of. They have a good tight end. They had a rookie running back. He got hurt, a little bit. I just don't think there was a very good team. And I don't think there'll be a very good team unless they make a lot of changes next year. So I don't know who wants that job. That's just my opinion. Chris?
Yeah, I think Pete Carroll would still be a Raiders head coach if it wasn't for his ego. I think his ego is why he only lasted 1 year. I think it goes back to some of the same stuff at Seattle. He came to the Raiders. They won Geno Smith. He wanted to bring Geno in because he's familiar with Geno. Geno wasn't working out. The Raiders wanted to move on. He wanted to keep playing Geno. Then you brought in Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, they had to move on. They had to basically fire all the assistants that he brought with them because they weren't doing their job. With Chip Kelly supposedly was calling plays that weren't even in the damn game plan on the sideline. But he's loyal to his guys. He didn't want to make changes, and I think that's what ended up biting him, and that's why they're moving on from him in 1 year. My thing is, all I keep hearing is, "Oh, Tom Brady's going to be real involved in the coaching search and all this." That's all I heard last year. Is how much Tom Brady was involved. So was he involved last year in bringing in Pete Carroll, or was he not involved and now he's getting involved?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
They act like because he's getting involved, that's going to solve everything. But I was told he was involved last year.
No, last year he wasn't. He wasn't mostly involved with the coaching stuff. Last year he was mostly involved with the players. That's why he was always on the field during training camp and stuff like that. He wasn't part of the coaching and anything like that. But I do think this year, like, we'll see. We'll see. I hear your tone when you're talking about the goal, and it's upsetting me a little bit, Chris. But I can't hear you.
No, it wasn't about Brady. It's just about all the media because that's all they talked about was
yeah.
how much influence Tom Brady had on bringing Pete Carroll in, and then they're getting rid of him 1 year, and now they're leaning on. The media's leaning on. Well, now Tom Brady's going to be involved. He's going to get it right. It's like, well, you told me he was involved last year, and he apparently didn't get it right.
Right. The reason why I think he wasn't involved last year is because Tom Brady would have stepped in and said, "No, we're not going to hire Pete Carroll," because Tom Brady beat him in the goddamn Super Bowl. This man didn't run the ball. That's how dumb he is. So I feel like Tom Brady would have been like, "No, I beat him in the Super Bowl. He had a chance to win a Super Bowl. He did it, coaching the wrong way. I feel like that's what he's going to, bring to us." So I could sit here and say that I think Tom Brady wasn't involved much. Whoa. Right,
If I'm the Raiders, I draft Fernando Mendoza and I bring in Mike McCarthy as my coach.
Yeah, I could see that because I think one thing I love about Mike McCarthy is he can stabilize the team.
Oh,
I think he can. I think he can stabilize. I'm not saying the guy's going to get you to a Super Bowl, the coach, but I think he can stabilize the team. He can right the ship and put a culture there. Now, I don't know about Super Bowl, but I think he can right the ship, and I do. I think he can do that. And I do think with the Mendoza, bringing in Mendoza would certainly be the step in the right direction because he's definitely a damn good quarterback.
Nobody wants to talk about a fucking Mendoza. Fuck his bitch ass. All right. Who was the topic again?
We're talking about Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, the hell of Pete Carroll. I feel like he should never came back. Honestly, real talk. I think he should have just sat on the couch. I feel like he shouldn't have come back. His style of coaching is not the way you play in today. We got to remember this is a guy that's been coaching since the 80s. And I just think that he's still in the mindset of still coaching in that era. And you can't coach like that anymore. And it gone to prove with the Raiders. I mean, you try to do your style of coaching and it never worked. Look what happened with Bill Belichick when he kept trying to do his style of coaching after Tom Brady towards the end of his New England coaching career. He still tried to do his style of, the Bill Belichick way, and it didn't work. So that's why they got rid of him. It happens. I feel like, when you constantly do the same coaching style play, this is what's going to happen. But hey, at the end of the day, you're going to sit on the couch getting paid for 2 more years. So, I mean, I really, I would be happy if I'm Pete Carroll. It sucks that you lost a job. excuse me, it sucks that you lost a job, and it sucks that you only won 2 games this year, or 3 now, right? Because I think the Raiders just beat the Chiefs yesterday. So I mean, it's cool. You guys your team the number 1 overall pick, so you could work with that. But who's gonna hire Pete Carroll now? I don't think nobody's gonna want to hire Pete Carroll. Now, I know you have a good resume, but because of what you just did with the Raiders, I don't think no one's gonna want to hire Pete Carroll.
That could be. Let's move on to Cleveland Browns, getting rid of Kevin Stefanski. Jay, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, my thoughts on Stefanski is the same as pretty much with the Raiders. Even I feel like the Raiders don't really have an identity, and I think Cleveland doesn't really have an identity other than the fact that they have Myles Garrett, which makes their defense amazing. But they don't really. I don't know if that team really knows who they are any more than what the Raiders know who they are. And that's kind of a rough situation. So I think that's why Stefanski isn't there. I mean, if you get 2 bites of the apple with the quarterback and you bring all these people in for a quarterback and you still don't have the solution at quarterback, I'm not saying Sanders. Maybe Sanders is the long-term solution. I don't know. But right now that team is struggling, man. I mean, they're struggling with their identity. So Stefanski he's going to latch on with another team. I have no doubt about it. But it won't be as a head coach. Maybe it could be. It could be as the head coach. I would rather see him more as a coordinator than the head coach, to be honest with you. I just think Cleveland just didn't have an identity, and that was just kind of it for him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Jay. I think he will get a head coaching job. I don't know if this year, it could be next year, but I think he does head coach again. I think they just made it. If it was all his decisions or the general manager, they made a lot of bad moves with the quarterback decisions for the last couple of years, and they've never recovered from it. They still don't have a quarterback, I don't believe. So still a big road for Cleveland to follow. I wouldn't be surprised, especially like Chris says, if the guy that used to coach for Dallas goes to the Raiders. I wouldn't be surprised if Stefanski ended up with the Giants.
I would say this. Let me say one thing though. I feel like with Stefanski, whatever organization he chooses to latch on with next, it's got to be an organization that he could be successful at. Because if he doesn't go to an organization where he's going to be successful at, and he winds up having another rough like he did with Cleveland, I feel like that's the end of his coaching career. I don't think there's going to be another one after that.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh in the middle of your time. I look up and I see Chris's face, and I'm just like, oh, Chris is going to say something wild. I know it.
Okay, Chris, what do you got to say about Stefanski?
First of all, what do you got to say about Jay? What he said? I want to hear that.
No, I just thought it was funny because he said he needed to go somewhere where he could be successful. He was successful in Cleveland. How many times had Cleveland been in the playoffs before he got there?
We all have our opinions. I don't personally. I mean, the way I think it's more the way he ended it with Cleveland, and I don't think I don't term his Cleveland tenure as success at all. That's just me. I don't term it as success.
Take a team that was going 16 to the playoffs. I think that's a little bit of success. But anyways, I think Cleveland made a big mistake. I think Cleveland should have fired their GM if you're going to fire somebody. But they wouldn't be in this position at quarterback if it wasn't for the owner meddling in it for one and telling the GM you have to do this and do that. And Stefanski, in my view, has done a pretty good job managing all the stupid shit that the owner and the GM have done. I mean, every year he has to use 8 quarterbacks, and he still had them in the playoffs a couple of years ago with Joe Flacco as his quarterback. So yeah, I think he's going to have a head coaching job this year. I think he'll be hired here in the next few days.
And I do agree with you, Chris. I 100% do agree with you as well as that the GM manager should have been fired too, just for the way they drafted. It was crazy the way they drafted. So I agree with you. I think they both should be gone.
Frankie, your thoughts on Stefanski?
Yeah, I'm like in a pickle, right? I'm over here like playing with a slinky, trying to lean on both sides between Jay and Chris because they're both making a good point. I feel like because like it's the Browns. Like it's the Browns. Like I don't feel like it's the coaching, and that's where it leans. The slinky's leaning towards Chris. It's the GM. It's the you're the dumb one that traded away Joe Flacco. Like I feel like Joe Flacco was your best quarterback opportunity than anyone else, than the 2 rookies. And then you also traded away Kenny Pickett. You had 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in your grasp, and you trade them both away. That's more on the GM. So I feel like Kevin was just more of a, I have to coach with what I got, right? And it wasn't doing it for Dylan Gabriel. Obviously, the Deshaun Watson shit is still going on. Who knows when Deshaun Watson is going to come back, or even if he does come back, he's dealing with that as well. Obviously, if I'm in Kevin's shoes, I know for a fact I would rather want Deshaun out there than any other quarterback because it's Deshaun Watson, but you can't because if he's dealing with legal issues and injury issues and stuff like that. So you got Dylan Gabriel. Who? Exactly. Then you put on Shedeur Sanders. Who? Oh, primetime son. So, and you're just over there like, okay, let me just do it. Your only superstar out there, and Jay, I don't know, I don't want you to get mad because there's other names out there in Cleveland, obviously, but your only superstar out there is the now sack leading record holder, Myles Garrett. That's it. So I feel like that GM should have been the one that got fired, not the head coach. The GM should have got fired. Get more talent in there. Obviously, Kevin got you into the playoffs, like Chris said, and he's a 2-time Coach of the Year winner. The man won 2 Coach of the Years with Cleveland. So I don't understand why they will fire him just because he had a bad season. Listen, it's okay. You had a bad season. You're in a tough division, kind of, quote unquote tough. I don't think they're tough anymore. But you're in that division in the AFC North. You know, so it's kind of like you're in a pickle, and it sucks for him. And I agree with Chris on, like I said, Slinky here. I'm over here 6'7" and over here and behind camera. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing the 6'7". I'm leaning towards Chris and I'm leaning towards Jay. Yes, he got fired, but the GM should have got fired. I feel bad for Kevin. Here goes my side on Chris again. I think he does get fired. I'm not gonna say in a couple of days. That's crazy, Chris. And you know how long coaching hiring and stuff takes. Like he's saying the next couple of days. I do think he's gonna get hired. I don't think it's with the Giants. I think the Giants are gonna lean a different way. But I think knock me in my head. I think Kevin Stefanski ends up going to Arizona.
That'd be a good fit too. Okay, guys, let's talk about Atlanta and Raheem Morris.
Hold on, Tony. Joe, we gave Shedeur Sanders many weeks and many opportunities. I'm never going to give him another opportunity again. He let me down by not beating the Buffalo Bills. So the hell with Shedeur Sanders. Send his ass back to college. Oh, wait, you can't. So send his bad ass back to Canada and have him play over there.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Raheem Morris. He was only a couple games under 500 after the last 2 seasons. I was a little surprised. Of course, Atlanta won games at the end and got 8-9 record and tied for the division lead, but got eliminated by the tiebreakers. But they got a lot of talent on that team, but they did underperform. Frankie, what do you think about Raheem Morris getting fired?
Well, thank you for choosing me first to go. I felt like this was going to be a racial panel. I've been going last since I came in here. It's like Chris, what do you got? Then Jay, then Frankie. Oh, Jay, what do you got? Chris, then Frankie, and then we just went on. So thank you for choosing me first. I feel like I'm part of the family now. Yeah, I was a little shocked by this as well, Tony, only because Adam Schefter was literally talking firings and safes and stuff like that. He even said that Raheem Morris will most likely be safe for his job if he was to win this game, just because they would win 4 games in a row. They will end at an 8-9 record. The same with the Panthers and same with the Bucks. And you know what's weird is they all each. I looked at the division is so garbage. It's just so garbage. Like, let's just take a minute and think about it. 3 teams went 8-9. 1 team obviously went under 500. But every single one of them went 3-3 in the division. That's a trash division, which came down to the scenario of, if the Falcons win this is against the Saints, this team goes blah blah blah. I think.
Oh shit!
Hey, that's why I put that up there. That had me rolling.
All right, keep no, keep that up there. Keep that up there. I want to shut this fake Cowboy fan down. All right, half the season doesn't mean anything. There's been quarterbacks that have been playing half the season that has better numbers than Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders can't even fucking do a good completion without doing something stupid. And then you're saying put Shedeur with the Patriots. First of all, Robert Kraft ain't stupid enough to draft Shedeur Sanders, because if he was, he would have drafted him, just like all the other 32 teams that waited 5 fucking rounds to draft his ass. That's how trash he is. But then you're trying to say he would have been an MVP. No, sir. He's nothing like Drake May. All right. He's not even in Drake May's shoes. All right. He can't even put up Drake May's pants. If anything, he can carry Drake May's bags. That's what he's good for, is carrying bags, maybe. But other than that, Shedeur Sanders is a primetime pussy. Excuse my language. But when you talk about
I will not excuse
team,
it. Don't say
but
that.
when you talk, but when you
let's
talk
clean it up
about
a little bit.
when you talk about my team, you talk with my team with respect. All right. Just because you're Cowboy, and Jay, I don't want you to attack me, please. This is between me and Joe. And just because your Cowboys are so trash with a good team, you have a Dak Prescott who had literally second passing yards behind Matthew Stafford this year, which was absolutely amazing. And Dak Prescott, by the way, good job, Jay. You got it, But what sucks is you have CeeDee Lamb, right? You have what's that other dude's name that Pittsburgh
Pickens?
didn't want? Yeah, Pickles. Yeah, Pickles. You got Pickles over there, and then you got your running back. You got all of that. You got Ferguson. No, Ferguson's not what you got, right? You guys got Ferguson, right?
Yeah, tight end.
All right, yeah, Ferguson. And you got Ferguson. But what do you guys do?
I don't even know who our damn players are. You gonna talk
Because
smack?
I'm not a fucking Cowboys fan.
Well, they're okay. No, whatever. That's
Do you expect me to know your team? Because I'm not a fan. I don't know your guys. Do you know
I
any
know,
of my
but you're
players?
talking about a team, and you don't even know who the type.
Do you know any of my players, Joe? Do you?
Hey,
know any of my
I'm gonna
players?
do my Chris impersonation. I'm not here to do your research. You do your own damn research.
Exactly. I don't need to do the goddamn Cowboys research. You know why? Because the Cowboys aren't in the
Lord.
playoffs. They got eliminated. I don't even know why we're talking about this sad story of a team that can't even get 500. All right. I don't want to. Don't open your mouth.
Let me say this. Let me say this. I want to say one thing about Cleveland, because this is one of the things that kind of bothers me about that situation in Cleveland. I kind of agree with you, Chris. I kind of, the more I'm thinking about this, listening, I kind of understand where you guys are coming from. And maybe Stefanski isn't the reason. Maybe it is probably that it is 100% the GM. But here is my issue with Stefanski. Was she been fired? Probably not. Here's my issue. You bring in all these quarterbacks, and then you start cutting a couple of them. Huntley, I think, was cut. Pickett was cut. Whatever. And then you stick it down to Dylan Gabriel, Sanders, and then Flacco, and then you had whatever. And then you fire Stefanski, but you literally give them this smorgasbord of quarterbacks. You try to figure it out in one spring training, and then you fire them. There's no consistency there with what you brought in, and now you're going to get rid of the coach who has no time really to develop. But I want to say this, Stefanski, you had to give Shedeur some first team reps because they had no idea anything about this kid when he went on the field. The offensive lineman I'm talking about, they didn't even know how he called the play or called the signals and whatnot. There was a lot of discombobulation within that Cleveland Browns organization from the developmental side of Stefanski. And I'm going to talk about this year, going into the GM who drafted all this craziness and then put it on Stefanski's plate. There just doesn't seem like any kind of link of culture, Tony. It goes back to the culture. They don't have a culture of identity, of developing and doing no stabilization. This seems like a bunch of craziness over there within that clubhouse.
Well, I mean, did anybody think that start of the season, did anybody think Cleveland was going to be good this year? I didn't. They didn't have a quarterback.
No.
I mean, I wasn't sold on Gabriel. I had a little hope for him. I definitely wasn't sold on Sanders. And one thing I know, Chris will tell you this: backup quarterbacks don't get very much reps with the regular team. I don't think they get. I don't think they hardly get any. I mean, from what I understand, I'm not there at the practices, so I don't know for sure. But I think your number 2 and number 3 get very little reps. It's number 1. I think you're on the scout teams and stuff like that. So there should have been some kind of idea from the scout teams, I would think. But I don't know.
I agree with you because I felt like they should not have fired Stefanski this year. They should have gave him another year. Now that he has the quarterback room sort of figured out, right? He knows he's got Gabriel, he's got Sanders. These are the 2 guys. Let them get the reps in. Let them get the development over a full spring training. And then let's see what the guy can produce year 2 after giving him this crazy quarterback room.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Spring training, every quarterback has reps.
I don't think either one of them will be the quarterback next year.
That's crazy. I just felt like Stefanski should have had at least one more year to figure it out. I mean, I felt like the first year, okay, you get all these draft picks. Let's figure out what we're doing, and then let's go at it next year. I don't know. Crazy.
Frank, did you have anything else on Morse? Nope. Okay. Chris, your thoughts on Raheem Morris?
Yeah, I was surprised by this. Because this is only his second year. I know it was a rough. The season didn't go like they wanted, but you look at especially the last 5-6 games when they started playing Kirk Cousins again. They started playing pretty good, and they end up tying for the division. But of course lost because of tiebreakers. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised. But for some reason. But it was even like that before Raheem Morris got there. They're just so inconsistent. I would have liked to see Morris get another year. I think he hurt himself last year when he benched Cousins. I think they moved off Cousins too quick. Cousins coming off that injury. I think if they would have started with Cousins this year, they probably end up winning that division. And they're probably playing in the playoffs, and Raheem Morris still has his job. I think Penix still has some developing to do before he's ready to be a full-time starter. I think that's what ended up biting him because I think if they went with Kirk Cousins at the start of this season, I think they're probably in the playoffs. Because I think they're the most talented team in that division. I really do, with Bijan and everybody they have. I think they're the most talented team, but they just hadn't been able to be consistent until later in the year when it was too late.
I kind of agree with you, and I don't think they should have fired him yet. I thought they should have given him another year. And guys, would Stefanski be a good fit there? You got a veteran quarterback, you got a young quarterback, you've got a running back, your defense is kind of under.
He'd be a good hire.
I think that'd be a good fit. Jay, your thoughts on Morris?
Yeah, I also agree that I think Stefanski would be a good fit there because, like you said, you got a good rookie there in Penix. He just needs more development. You got a great.
Just real quick, and he's also worked with Kirk Cousins before. He was with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota as the offensive coordinator, so he has a real good relationship with Cousins and success with Cousins.
Yeah, I just think what hurt Atlanta, in my opinion, was just the fact that injuries. I think hurt them. I know Drake London missed some time. Another problem I had with it was I felt like Raheem Morris really never got Kyle Pitts involved enough in that offense. I think Kyle Pitts could be a huge weapon, but I don't think he's used nearly enough like he should be. I would incorporate him a lot more in that offense, like what the Chiefs did with Kelsey and the way Patriots and the Tampa Bay did with Gronkowski. I felt like he needs to be more involved, and he's just not. So that would be the first thing. And I think Stefanski does a good job involving his tight ends with Fannin Jr. and Njoku. So I know he has a really good way of operating that offense. And I think I'd like to see right. And Bijan Robinson, a stud running back, a good offensive line. I definitely think he'd be good there. With Raheem Morris, I just don't think he got enough out of that unit that he could have got out of that offensive unit.
Yeah, Pitts did better with Cousins. Pitts picked up when Cousins came in, so that'll be interesting. I'm not really going to talk much about Dable and Callahan because they've been gone for a while. But I did want to bring up Jonathan Gannon. He got released from Arizona. He got fired. Chris, your thoughts on Gannon being let go? I wasn't surprised.
I wasn't surprised. No. If you'd asked me about 6 weeks ago, I would have thought he'd probably still been there. But then that defense just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and that's why that's his side of the ball. I mean, that's why he was hired as a head coach, was because of how good he was on the defensive side of the ball. And I know there was a lot of injuries and stuff, but it seemed like that team kind of quit toward the end of the season. Probably I would say around week 13 of the season. It didn't look like the same team as they did the first 13 weeks. In first 13 weeks, like every game was coming right down to the end. Like they were one possession, close games against everybody. And then after that, it was just like the team kind of quit and they just started getting blown out every week. So it didn't surprise me that they moved on. I think they got to figure out the coach, but then they also got to figure out what they're going to do at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I agree. Jay.
Yeah, my thing is, I think Steph, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Gannon's been there, 3 years now, I think, because he took over, because Kellen Moore took over from him, I believe. So I think honestly he's been there 3 years, I believe, in Arizona.
That sounds about right.
And I figure like in 3 years at Arizona, they have talent. They have a good defense. We saw what that defense looked like. I definitely saw what it looked like going against the Cowboys. So I know they had a good defense at the beginning of the year. And like Chris said, by the end of the year, that defense didn't look quite the way it did at the beginning. So that's an issue. Kyler Murray is another issue with that team. You know, they got to be able to move on from him and be able to get a good, strong leader. Maybe it's Brissett, maybe it's somebody else. But I feel like in 3 years of being with that organization, they haven't moved that needle one bit. That needle is exactly where it was 3 years ago when they brought Gannon in. And I feel like if you can't move your team forward, you know, in the standings, and you've had 3 years to get the job done, and you've got talent there, that's a problem. So, yeah, I think his days were just numbered just by lack of production.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Guys, let's move on real quick, and we'll get out of here in a second. Real quick, I did want to touch on the college football playoffs real quick. Thursday night at 7:30, we have Miami, number 10 seed, taking on the number 6 seed, Ole Miss. Jay, your thoughts on Miami and Ole Miss?
Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a good game, man. This is probably one of the nothing against Indiana, because I definitely want to see what Indiana does. But one of the things I like about the Ole Miss game is I love revenge games. This may not even be a revenge game. I don't know how you really categorize it, but when Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss to go to LSU, you know, I would love nothing better than to see Ole Miss be able to get that win and be able to, you know, solidify it there. You know, even after he left, you know, I just think it's a good story there. Miami, Carson Beck and what they can do, you know, Carson is capable of doing with Georgia. So he's got a lot of good experience there. It's going to be a tough game to call in terms of who I think would win. I'm going to roll with Miami on this. And that's really more or less the experience level of Carson Beck.
Yeah, Miami does have a little bit of experience over Ole Miss. I'm not sure what's going on with the coaches. I've been hearing different things. If everybody's still going to coach or not, I'm not. You know, some of the assistant coaches that coached last game, I'm not sure what's going on there. That could make a difference. But if they have most of the coaching staff back, I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I think that they'll put pressure on that quarterback, but he handled the pressure pretty well the last game. And I'm not sure that Miami can score enough points to stay with Mississippi. So I'm going to go Ole Miss in this game. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to come down to the Ole Miss defense, how well they play. But I think they're going to be able to slow down the Miami offense enough. I think Miami has a good defense. We saw what they've done to Ohio State's offense, but I think Ole Miss offense is better than what the Ohio State offense is. I kind of agree with you. I don't think Miami's going to be able to score enough points. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss in a close game.
You know, for 1 minute there in your dissertation of a speech, I literally thought you were going to say agree with me in Miami, and then you still went Ole Miss.
The key for Miami is to run the football and eat time off the clock. They have a good run game. If they can run the football and eat time and keep Mississippi, Ole Miss off the field some, then I think Miami has a good chance. But again, I'm gonna go.
They got to win at the line of scrimmage, especially on defense. They got to be able to put pressure on that Ole Miss quarterback. They can't put pressure on him. It could be a long night.
Yep. Next game, guys, Friday at 7:30. It's the big one for me and Chris. It's number 5 seed Oregon taking on number 1 seed IU. They played before earlier in the season at Oregon. IU beat them 30-20. It was a pretty good game. I'm a little worried because it's hard to beat a team a second time, but I do think IU's a better football team. I think they've got more talent. I think they're better. Now, whether that equates to a win, we'll see. I'm going with IU. Chris?
Yeah, I like IU a lot here. I think it's going to be a lot. I think IU wins by at least 10. I think it's going to be a lot like the first game. I think we're a better team now than what we were when we played them in Oregon. Don't get me wrong. I think Oregon's a little bit better than what they were back then too. But just the way we look so prepared, the way Cignetti has the team prepared, I expect us to play a lot like we did last week against Alabama. And if we play like that, I don't see anybody being able to beat us. If we don't turn the ball over and we execute like we've been executing, it's going to be hard. So yeah, I like IU in this game.
And Jay.
Yeah, like Coach Signetti said, all I do is win. Well, if all you do is win, I don't see Oregon beating you. No, I gotta agree. I like the way Signetti prepares his guys. This guy's he's a developmental guy, right? I mean, he's good at developing players. And I really feel like, and any team that I've ever watched that is great is always a team that's been well developed and well coached, and they execute. And I feel like Signetti does that. Not that Oregon does it, not that they get away from Oregon Ducks. But I'm a little bit more. I think a little bit more about this IU team, and I'm very big on the developmental side of things. They've executed all along the way. So yeah, and Mendoza, man, that guy is amazing. He really is. He's a hell of a good quarterback. So I'm not gonna go against him. So I'm gonna.
You see him on McAfee today?
Nah, yeah, I did. I saw him a little bit on McAfee. Yeah,
it was a good interview. He's on there today.
That kid always does good interviews. I don't know if he's prepped, if they give him like somebody talks to him, hey, these are the things we need you to say to build up your rep, or if this is just who this kid naturally is. But he just has a way of commanding the camera. I don't know if you guys know that, but he looks so comfortable on that camera.
Jay, I think the one word that you didn't say that you normally do say, and I think it's a big thing with IU, and I'm big on this. I think Chris is, and I know you are. Culture, man. He's changed that culture there.
Yeah, man.
At IU so quickly, he changed that culture there. It's just amazing.
And not just the culture of the team. He changed the culture of the whole freaking city. Like he changed what he had to change what the IU fans thought about IU football to get fans to come. Like he said that that first game by halftime, the damn stadium was empty. Everybody was back out in the parking lot drinking and stuff. No, they didn't even stay to watch the whole game because they were used to IU getting killed. That was what they did. You watched a little bit of the first half and you left. So he had to not only change the team, like his players that were there, but then the whole mindset of the whole college, basically.
You know what's interesting? Just one more thing, just kind of caveat on what you're saying, or to add to what you're saying, is I remember when primetime came from Jackson State, the HBCU programs, and then came over to Colorado and really hasn't done much. And he took all them transfers with him. I mean, he brought it. And look, and Primetime's got the name, right? This dude, everybody knows Prime. Everybody, and he had all that clout, and he still could not do a damn thing for Oregon. And then you get Signetti, who takes JMU from the FCS, puts them in the damn FBS, and then has them and then has a good enough program there still to put them in the damn national or in the playoffs. And then it goes on to Indiana with the 2 years, takes a school with pretty much no football program, brings them guys over from JMU, and now he's 2 years in, he's in the national or getting close to be the national title game. That's crazy.
Problem with Colorado, he didn't bring the right players. I mean, maybe that team didn't have those kind of players, but they're not big and strong enough. They get knocked off the ball.
Well, he didn't hit in the portal like Signetti. That's the thing. You got to be able to get the right guys out of the portal and be able to develop them. And Signetti's proven that he can do that.
And that's I'm telling you, if you want to be a good college football coach nowadays, that's where you have to be.
Look what we're doing in the portal right now. He's reloading for next year.
Me and Pops were talking about pre-show what he was doing.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations, Signetti. I saw you took a quarterback from TCU. Not that I'm a TCU Horned Frog, but still, you took him. Good job.
It is a good one.
I like what we're doing so far. I think we're going to be good again. I think we're going to be good every year. Are we going to be undefeated every year? Who knows? But we're going to be competitive. As long as the negative, we're at least going to be competitive in every year, and it's been a long time since we've had that.
Don't get used to Don't get used to Signetti. I've already wrote University of Texas a letter strongly advising that we trade Sarkisian for Signetti.
It's all right.
You're going to get Sarkisian.
You must not have heard about the clause he just got put in his contract the other day.
No. The clause was just there for media purposes. We all know what goes on behind closed doors.
Basically, if any other coach gets, he has to be top 3 paid coach, or he gets moved up to that. He after he won the other day, they gave him that clause.
I think to a certain degree,
and
I know he left
market value.
I think
Yeah.
he left other. Don't get me wrong. I know he left other colleges, but they were stepping stones, and I think they knew that. He got an opportunity at a real small school, went to the next level. Now IU is the only big team, not even a big team, but a Big Ten team that
Power
would
four.
take nobody.
Power.
Yeah, they would take a chance on him. Nobody else would take a chance on him. So I think, and they give him everything he's asked for. So I don't think he'll ever leave there. I'll be surprised. I don't think there's a job out there unless he was to go to pro, and I don't think he'll do that because I don't think that's his mentality. I don't think there's a college job out there that he would want. Unless IU was to change the, hey, we're going to back off on this if they didn't live up to what they're saying. But I think as long as they live up to what they're supposed to, I don't think he'll ever leave IU.
And they just signed both. They signed both coordinators to pretty good extensions as well.
When I think about like a guy, for example, I'll take a guy like Nick Saban real quick. When I think of Alabama football, there's two eras of Alabama football that I'm only familiar with, and that's the Junction Boys, Paul Bear Bryant the era, and then the Nick Saban era. Anything outside those two eras, I really don't pay. Alabama really wasn't doing much. And I look at a guy like Cignetti, who comes from the Saban tree, takes over Indiana, who has pretty much no football program. And now he's instilled it there. And I cannot for the life of me imagine why Cignetti would ever leave Indiana. As long as Indiana's matching his funds, which I know they will. I can't imagine why he would leave because he's building this program. When you think of Indiana football going forward, who are you going to think of? You're always going to think of Cignetti because he's the one that pretty much invented. Like he has a legend. Like he can build a legendary career. He could be the next Nick Saban and maybe even be better than Nick Saban. I don't know. But he has the opportunity at Indiana to do that. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. Legacy, man. It's all about legacy. And I look at a guy like Lane Kiffin, who really doesn't have a legacy because he doesn't stay at the university. He hops around. And then like a guy like Cignetti, a guy like Nick Saban, those guys can formulate their own legacies by being at schools and creating their own programs. That's
it. Chris, do you have anything else? Okay, guys. Well, I think it's about time to get out of here. Jay, what you got for us?
Yeah, man. Again, I want to say congratulations to Frankie, man, for winning the baseball fantasy league and the NFL fantasy league. He's having a good start to the new year already. Make sure you guys check us out Tuesday night on Tuesday Night Hoops. We'll be talking about the top 10 trades in NBA history and what surprise teams we think there are in the NBA. And I'd be curious to see what your surprise teams are in the NBA in the comments selection. So check us out Tuesday night. We'll be talking about that and a lot more as well. If you like today's concepts, if you like today's content, if you like everything we talked about today and find it intriguing, make sure you hit that subscribe button on Gonzo Sports Room's YouTube page, as well as ESPN's YouTube page. And we appreciate everybody for being here, and we will see you Tuesday